And we're back with you here on KBBF 89.1 FM and on the web at kbbf.org. And this is your show, Líderes del Futuro. Today we have the opportunity and the privilege to interview Stephanie Manieri, who is the Director of Programming over at Latino Service Providers, and she has brought some friends with her. Stephanie, welcome to the show. Thank you for accepting our invitation to talk about wonderful program that you have here in the county of Sonoma.
Thank you. Thank you, Rafael, for the invitation. And I'm really excited to have brought with me today for this conversation our team that works with our youth promotores, who we will talk a little bit more about in just a minute. We have with us our program manager, Magali Larque. We have our program coordinator, Cristian Gutierrez, and one of our youth promotor leaders in the program, Benjamin Rosel. So they are here today to talk a little bit more about the program and to share a little bit more about how young people can get involved if they are interested. So this program, the Youth Promotor Internship Program that we want to share with everyone today, is a paid internship program for youth in Sonoma County. My colleague Magali will talk a little bit more about who we are looking for and who is eligible for the program. Before we do that, I would just like to share that we have 4 different tracks in the program for students who are interested. The first track in the program that we have is our Promotores de Salud Mental. So these are youth who focus on mental health and talking about why it's important to talk about mental health in the Latino, Latinx, Latina community. And so they do a lot of work to really destigmatize mental health in our community. Next, we have our youth promotores preparados. These are young people who focus on emergency preparedness, and especially in Sonoma County, it's a really important topic that we all be knowledgeable and comfortable with. And so these students really focus on helping to educate folks on what to do in case of an emergency. And they themselves are also out in the community when there is an emergency. We also have promotores verdes, who are young people who focus on climate action and environmental education. So they really focus on that cultural piece that our community is already in tune to when it comes to environmentalism. And so really making sure that our community is given the space to talk about what we do as a culture to take care of our nature. And then we also have our promotores de vivienda. These are youth promotores who focus on housing and the housing crisis in Sonoma County. So they work to understand the policies that affect our community and how we can all be a part of changing those policies to have a more equitable housing situation in Sonoma County. And so with that, I will pass it on to my colleague Magali to talk about who is eligible for the program.
Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you for having me. As mentioned, my name is Magali Larque. I am the program manager at Latino Service Providers. For eligibility, we're looking for youth promotores who want to be trained in community health work and engage with our Latinx community on important issues that affect our health, our mental health, and our well-being. So this year we have room for 40 students. It will be our 6th year. So this will be our 6th cohort of students who are between the ages of 16 to 25, who are not only bilingual, but bicultural as well. Note that we do not require any grades, and students are welcome to apply regardless of immigration status, and who are just motivated to learn about community health work. It is a 1-year commitment, so we start this May of this year and then go to next May of next year, so it follows the school cycle as well. And our students are paid anywhere between $800 to $1,600 during the year. As Stephanie mentioned, this is a paid internship. And now I'll pass it over to Ben, who has been with us for the last 2 years, to talk a little bit more about different trainings and opportunities he's participated in.
Yeah, so depending on the track that the YPs are interested in, they're also given the training behind it. We all receive training of Introduction to Community Health work through the University of San Francisco. We're all given youth mental health first aid training to recognize the signs of depression and anxiety or suicide signs. We all kind of receive a general training, and then depending on the track that you choose, you're also giving further training on those types of places you want to be helping. So there's always trainings available for either housing, environmental. This is where you honestly start to learn a lot of the programs that are available for people in Sonoma County. You start getting connections, you start learning about new people, new organizations, and then you're really able to bring that message over to the community. Our youth promotores have been able to also, through this training, we've been able to work with the community at our outreach events. I remember last year we were able to help during the fire season distribute N95 masks, or being able to help community find evacuation zones. So that was really cool. And then also right now during the pandemic, I know there's been multiple food drives that we've been able to participate, giving out masks, or even just mental health information during these difficult times. And then I will pass it on to Christian.
Hello. So my name is Christian Gutierrez. I am the program coordinator here at Latino Service Providers. So if you have any questions on Latino Service Providers and want to know where to reach us, you can always just type latinoserviceproviders.org, and you'll find us in on the tab when you look that up. And if you want to look us up on social media, you can also find us on Facebook as well as Instagram. We have 2 pages on Instagram. So for the general Latino Service Providers, you can just type our name, Latino Service Providers, and you'll find us. And if you want the one that's more focused on the Youth Promotor program, you just type in LSP Youth Promotores. And on Facebook, you just type in Latino Service Providers. If you have any more questions that aren't going to be answered on our social media or website, you can always feel free to email us, and we will always try to get back to you at a timely manner. Another thing, our social media also provides great resources that myself, along with my colleagues, try to keep everyone updated with. So if you follow us back and share that information with the community, that would also be great. Thank you.
Definitely. I want to thank you all for taking the time and being with us here. Again, one of the things that I always like to remind the community, if you are interested in becoming, that is, an individual who is going to be a nurse, social worker, community health worker, maybe a master's in public health, any of those positions, for sure, you should consider participating, getting to know the community that eventually you'll be serving. I've seen Ben multiple times. He's a college student, and at the same time, he's participating here. So when you're thinking about careers, the best thing you can do is an internship, because then you'll be able to get real life experience that will help you determine, is this for me or not? And so I'm grateful that, again, you'll have this opportunity for up to 40 individuals to be able to participate. And this is between the ages of 16. So if you're in high school, you can participate all the way until 25. So if you're in college, you can participate in this program. And so with that, I want to thank you, Stephanie, for taking the time. Stephanie Manieri, Director of Programming over at Latino Service Providers here in Sonoma County. You can go to latinoserviceproviders.org to get more information. Thank you, Stephanie, once again, for taking the time and bringing your team together to have this dialogue.
Thank you for having us.
Definitely. Take care.